All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about everyday gut health and unpacking the full comprehensive formulation in this product. This is truly the first comprehensive one-stop shop for gut health. It's never actually been done in the Australian market. Lots of products have done different parts of gut health and address different parts of the gut health issue that we face as a society. There's been things in there like having, fiber-based supplements, which are super crucial for feeding the microbiome. There's been things in there to help with the gut wall itself and gut permeability or leaky gut over here, whether that's slippery elms or glutamines or collagens or aloe vera roots, what have you, over here. There's been probiotics over here to make sure we're repopulating with good bacteria in the gut and helping to restore a beneficial balance of microbiome. There's been some antimicrobials, which can help us kill off some bad bacteria as well over here. So there's been lots and lots of separate individual products, but never anything that can really tackle it in one go. And when you work with naturopaths or when you're trying to do a campaign to improve gut health historically, what you're looking at is quite often that you'll have to do lengthy campaigns. We're doing, elimination diets alongside those. We're trying to pull out foods that can aggravate gut health, and we're trying to, do a weed and feed campaign. We're trying to kill off bad bacteria. We're doing a heal and seal where we're trying to rebuild the gut lining and do these different things. And all of these can take weeks, if not months to do, and are done in separate forms with specific supplements at specific times, and they all cost an absolute bomb doing these all separately. I mean, here in the range, some of the products have been complementary, like our glutamines, our curcumins, our collagen separately. Putting all these together here would cost hundreds of dollars, take months for you to fix the problem. We wanted to try and provide something as a one-stop shop that would give you a laundry list of everything that will help you in all areas of gut health. And that's where Everyday Gut Health was put together. So let's go through it top to bottom and explain to you exactly why, if you're someone who's just purchased this product and want to know why are we using it. If someone looking at this going, should I use this? Is this helpful to me? How does it work though? What's behind this? Because gut health is such a new topic. We need to make sure we're giving you valuable information and the right information because the science is new, cutting edge and up and coming. So we're going to start at the top of the label today and go the heal and seal. Now, that was a term I said before, and naturopaths love using that term around helping heal the gut lining. Now, the gut lining is our body's first line of defense against the outside world. Everything we eat, drink, ingest has to go through our gut lining at some point, to get through our digestive system to be utilized in the bloodstream. And our immune system 85% of our immune system lives in that gut lining or the mucosal layer sitting on top of that gut lining. And the mucosal layer is just a thin biofilm over that gut. But essentially between that layer, that is the physical barrier to the outside world. So that's the easiest way to think of that. Now, what we've said in previous videos is a lot of things in our world are inflammatory towards this gut lining and cause a lot of what we call permeability. So that gut lining being a nice tight junction. Unfortunately, what happens over time is that thing gets more and more permeable with stress, with inflammation, with seed oils, with processed foods, with all of the things that are attacking this now that we have issues with. This gut lining gets more and more permeable, more and more things get through. So what we need to do is try and seal that gut lining and get that fixed, get that repaired. And that's where we want to look at structural proteins and amino acids. So the heal and seal part here uses our trademarked Peptinex grass-fed, grass-finished collagen. Collagen is amazing. In 83% of studies in a 2017 Japanese study, using collagen had an 83% reduction in bloating, indigestion, and digestive symptoms in people who had poor gut health. The reason it works on this, one of the main mechanisms is it's a structural protein that can rebuild your gut lining. Okay, it's a really, really unique property of collagen, and specifically type 1 and 3 collagen, which is the ones that we use in Peptinex, the trademark collagen. But you also want to have the amino acid glutamine. Now, glutamine is one of the most abundant amino acids in our body. Our body has the most demand for glutamine as well. And up to 40% of it is used in our digestive tract to help rebuild intestinal wall, rebuild gut wall. It's so crucial. Now, we didn't just stop and use a generic glutamine. We use Ajinomoto, Japanese, naturally fermented, pharmaceutical grade glutamine. This stuff is thousands of dollars a kilo, but it is the best glutamine money can buy. And by using a combination of collagen and glutamine, this is going to help radically rebuild that gut lining and decrease that permeability to stop the outside world getting into your bloodstream. And that endotoxemia is what we call that term, leads to a whole host of issues from systemic inflammation, neural inflammation, your immune system being overwhelmed, detoxification being sluggish. All these issues stem from there. So step 1, heal and seal. Make sure the physical gut lining is healthy, robust, and not permeable, not leaking, right? Next part, we need to dampen inflammation in that system. We spoke before in previous videos about how stress is so inflammatory to the gut. So is our highly processed diet. We're having no fiber at all. We have so many things coming in from our food supply, from our water supply that can be impacting gut health. A lot of things inflame that gut lining. So what we're going to do is try and drop some of that inflammation. So we have curcumin in this product here at 300 milligrams of the 2-scoop serve. And curcumin is one of the strongest natural anti-inflammatories money can buy. Phenomenally potent. It also lowers oxidative stress, which is really crucial because, again, when you're systemically inflamed, you're generating a lot of oxidative stress as well as as being a very strong antioxidant, which is very, very crucial. We also then have quercetin, which works very synergistically with the curcumin to make sure we're dropping those inflammatory cytokines in our system. We're dropping that inflammation in the gut lining and allowing that healing and sealing to actually take place. Now, the next part of this is doing the weed and feed campaign. We have 5 different polyphenols on here. We're looking at things like your olive leaf extracts, yerba mate, cinnamon barks. These things are naturally very high in what we call polyphenols, which are natural plant compounds that in nature are used to do things like kill off bad bugs. And in our gut, that's very, very useful. So these can be great things for antimicrobials, as in microbiome. These can kill off bad species of bugs that we don't want there and promote the growth of good species of bacteria. It also has some other benefits with polyphenols. They can help with improving cardiovascular function, metabolic function. But for today, they're in here because these are going to help us do the weeding part of our campaign. They're going to kill off all of those bad bacteria. So if you've had a less than ideal, microbiome, we're going to make sure we're killing off the bad. And then we also want to make sure we go in there. So we've got the weed. We also want to be feeding the good. And that's where our multi-strain prebiotic fiber comes into this piece here. Now we have ourselves 5 different fibers, both insoluble, soluble. We also have resistant starches, including Solnal, our trademarked resistant potato starch, green banana starch as well. Resistant starches are so useful because they feed the microbiome specifically and help them produce things like short-chain fatty acids. And short-chain fatty acids are these amazing messengers that go around the gut and help tell us to switch off that inflamed immune system, switch off all of this systemic inflammation we're having, calm down an overactive immune system. Very, very crucial piece of the puzzle. We also have in there the soluble and insoluble fibers, including some trademark guys in there, but also baobab, which is a mix of soluble and insoluble with really high antioxidant capacity as well. So we have 5 different fibers that help nourish the microbiome that we do want to go there. So we're weeding off the bad, feeding the good, and then finally we need to make sure we're throwing in the correct probiotics as well to populate the gut with the right species. Now, some of the things we do there is Saccharomyces boulardii. So SB is another name for that strain. Now, this strain is amazing, especially if you've just come off a course of antibiotics, if you've just had barley belly, food poisoning, gastro, any sort of inflammation, any sort of upset gut recently, digestive issues, bloating recently, if you've got leaky gut, phenomenal. SB is a yeast which is really great at rapidly repopulating the gut and holding space for the beneficial good bacteria to repopulate that space. Really, really great to help with constipation, with bloating, with indigestion. Phenomenally potent to throw in there as a strain. We then use Lactospore trademarked spore-forming probiotic, which is really, really potent. Being a spore-forming agent, it is the most shelf-stable. Don't need to refrigerate it. And it also means that it gets the whole way through the gut, survives the transit through the gut acid, and allows us to repopulate the gut with lactobacillus coagulans, which is so beneficial for helping us with digestive issues, bloating, indigestion, as well as metabolic health. So we've got some spore-forming guys, some yeast-forming guys, with the SB and the lactospore. Then we're throwing on top of that here our lactobacillus coagulans. So if you struggle with dairy lactose, this thing here is the thing that is naturally occurring in things like yogurts, dairies, and cheeses that helps our body break down lactose as well as some very other hard things to break down in our gut. So it's a very beneficial strain to have there. If you have any particular issues with lactose, brilliant strain to have in there. Then we have Akkermansia, which is a really new and up-and-coming strain. This thing is still having studies done on it in humans right now. It is the cutting edge of science, but Akkermansia is responsible for improved metabolic function, improved blood sugar control, improvements in a whole host of areas. They're finding that those people who didn't have much of an Akkermansia population in their gut had insulin resistance, high body fat percentages. They weren't very good at metabolizing, body fat either. Whereas when you had Akkermansia supplementation, we found they had reductions in body fat, they had better blood sugar management, metabolically much more robust, and just simply put, athletes, athletic people had higher populations of Akkermansia, sedentary people had lower amounts. The more Akkermansia we put into sedentary people, the leaner they got in human studies. Phenomenally potent. So we have a multi-strain probiotic, multi-strain prebiotic fiber, antimicrobials to kill off the bad stuff as well. Things to heal and seal that gut lining, things to drop the inflammation in there, and overall deliver a package that is a one-stop shop for every part of gut health. We're not just putting in a sprinkling over here of some things to help with, digest, to help become a band-aid for you, right? We can throw in some digestive enzymes like we have here, multiple naturally occurring and synthetic digestive enzymes. We have Digizyme, which is a mix of protease, lipase, cellulase, things that can help break down fats and carbohydrates. We have bromelain, ginger, and papain, which are like naturally occurring digestive enzymes to help break down food too. But we have not just a band-aid approach here. We're hitting the root cause of gut health issues and finally creating a one-stop shop supplement to hit all of those areas for you. You don't need to take 20 different supplements, do lengthy campaigns, eliminate certain foods. This thing here is the true comprehensive entire shopping list of everything you'd ever want to put in your gut to help with that. Now, the final piece we're going to do, because once we've done all of this amazing work, we've put in the right bacteria, we've healed and sealed the gut, we've lowered inflammation, we also need to rebuild the mucosal layer, which is the final piece that goes and sits above our gut lining, and again has a lot of our white blood cell activity, a lot of our immune system function happens there. And we use things like slippery elm, aloe vera root, licorice DGL, zinc carnosine as well to help do that function. So the mucosal layer is so critically important for immune function, critically important for making sure our gut permeability is strong and robust and keeps out the outside world. And we have a system in there to cover that as well. So this is truly an Australian first. No one has done something this comprehensive, and it's if you've listened this far today, guys, it's because you may have issues yourself. Maybe you're struggling with bloating, digestion, stress, anxiety. Maybe you're looking at food and putting on weight yourself. Maybe you're feeling foggy-headed. Maybe you're finding it's really tricky to handle more and more foods. You look at a piece of bread now and you're bloated. You have a glass of milk now, you're bloated. This thing here is designed to help you, and the Everyday Gut Health is for the everyday person to help work back against the tide that is unfortunately declining gut health in a way that's simple and easy to use. As one scoop a day, 2 scoop a day, whatever suits your regimen. This thing is going to be a phenomenal tool in your arsenal to help gut health.